Hey, welcome everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Hex Token channel live stream. Woo! Gonna be a lot of fun. We've got so much stuff to go through. It's gonna be crazy. We're gonna start off with obviously the crypto market and FTX. We are going to continue our coverage from yesterday, which we had a pretty concise coverage yesterday. And so we're going to have a look at some of the developments since then. We're also going to get obviously into the Hex ecosystem. We're going to talk about Richard Hart Twitter Spaces. And we're going to get into a lot of the Pulsechain projects and things like that. So there's lots in store. We're going to get into obviously the biggest event coming up for the Hex ecosystem, which is about to happen, I think, is the Hex HSI auctions for a Coza Hedron platform with Alex McFurter, the developer. So we're going to look at that. Massive. Over 71,000 T-shares up for grabs. And that will be amazing. So we're expecting about maybe 24,000 opening up the first day, which is, I think, potentially about to open up soon. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself out there. We're on hex.com at the moment. So hex.com, check it out. It's in the video, links in the video description. If you're sick and tired of getting wrecked on centralized exchanges and not your keys, not your coins, if you're sick of getting wrecked on centralized finance applications or dApps, as we know it as CFI, then check out hex.com. Obviously on the ETH chain, going to be copied over on the Pulsechain. You're getting a 2-for-1 deal there. Pulsechain, also the founder, Richard Hart, going to be launching that. Obviously launched hex.com as well. One of the most successful cryptos in crypto history. And of course, we are very bullish about its future. Once again, nothing on this channel is investment advice. You must do your own due diligence. But definitely check it out. And yeah, that's the future. Decentralized finance, DeFi, and of course, Hex.com, the ultimate crypto savings product. All right, so let's get into it. We've got a couple of people in the house, so let's get to some of the comments. We've got Lies Beneath in the house there. Hello, are you today? Very good, Lies. Always a pleasure. Hello, all, says Lies. Hex and EHEX and PLSX for the win. Absolutely. And of course, that is the maxi strategy of this channel. Brendan says, morning, Suitman. Good to see you, Brendan, as always. Missed the last two lives. Need to catch up, says Brendan. Hey, it's good to see you back anyway, Brendan. And I hope you've had a good rest. We got Magnus in the house as well. Happy, hey, family. Good to see Magnus. And what flag is that, Magnus? Is that like Denmark or somewhere? Let me know what that flag is. That'd be cool. So cool. Let's get into it, folks. We're on hex.com. Check it out. The link's in the video description. And we're going to jump to the crypto market. Here we are at the stage. So at the moment, it is Sunday here in good old New Zealand, and it is 12:33 p.m. So it's really lunchtime. And of course, it's a standard time. I've been live streaming now. But in the US, it's only Saturday. So it's only Saturday. And of course, it's Saturday the 12th. So there we go. We've got Los Angeles. It's currently 3:30 in the afternoon. New York is currently 6:30 in the evening. On Saturday, so still enjoying your Saturday strolls after a long week of hard work, I no doubt. And Tokyo is on Sunday. That's currently 8:30 in the morning in Tokyo. So I thought I'd bring up Tokyo there. How about that? You can let us know in the chat what time it is and where you are at the moment. That'd be cool. Just for the country, you don't give us any more details than that if you so choose. All right, so here we are. We've got BTC is at $16,772, down 0.5% here. Are we going to get a capitulation in the coming week? And that is kind of where we've kind of targeted that we may get a capitulation in the BTC to find that low. I think there's still more pain to come, folks. Yeah, we still haven't quite got there yet. ETH at 12.51, down 1.8%. We've got BNB at 282.97, down 1.8%. And of course, some of our stars that we've been talking about, Matic, some of these tech companies that have been supporting, like Google, Meta and things like that have been getting involved. We've got Matic down under $1 again. What a sad thing. It's been up and then down. Man, volatility is insane. Down 10% to 93 cents. Some of the other standouts, of course, Twitter has been Dogecoin. Now, Richard Hart got into a Twitter space. Elon Musk got into Twitter space yesterday. I listened to quite a few hours of it. That was with the FTX fallout. And of course, Kim.com was in there as well. I'm actually a pretty good fan of Kim.com. I don't agree with everything that Kim.com says, but just because you don't agree with everything everyone says, it doesn't mean you can't be a big fan, right? So I'm a big fan of his. And yeah, he's throwing down a lot of alpha there. He was probably the highlight for me. But Elon Musk did get invited, and he dropped in there as well. He said, Dodge. I think he said Dogecoin to the moon, something like that. Dogecoin to the moon. It was a bit funny, especially given the fact that FTX fallout was massive. But if you've been impacted by FTX fallout, we're going to talk about that shortly. Just remember that money is just money. I know that it can feel very important, but there's things will move on. You'll overcome, and that's probably a good message from that. The other thing, of course, is we've had a few other things going on here. We've got the Solana, which benefited as well from Google. I think it was Google Cloud, and of course, $14.70 down 7.7% at the moment. So this has been some of our recent stars, and of course BNB was close to, was it $350, something like that? It's down to 282, and that's down 1.8%. That benefited from I think Meta, also a bit from Twitter, benefiting from the cloud as well, Google Cloud. So that is down as well. So that's kind of where we are. The stable coins are looking okay. I mean, both of them are slightly less than peg at the moment. USDC, USD Tether, DAI is also slightly less than peg. Questions marks around, I guess, the FTX involvement as well. A lot of people, it's not just being one of the top exchanges, but it's all the centralized finance applications, other exchanges, and stable coins that are running through that exchange as well that get impacted. And of course, those assets as well with the hack. So there's lots of things to take into account. It has a cascading effect. And that's why I think this week could be pretty rough this week. I'd be very careful with your risk management. Even with the stables, we're getting a little, oh, look, USDC went to dollar, so that's good. But even stables, you might want to think about splitting up your stable coins as well. So until we get a bit through that, it's a bit of a worry when your stable coins, start to get questioned as well. So just take that into account. Even DAI's got some USD Tether, right? So, and its mix and its makeup. Maybe some of the better tokens, like USD, LUSD, for liquidity may improve to be better, right? Because they're based on the underlying token of the top blockchain, Ethereum. So even if Ethereum goes down, it still stays at a peg with arbitrage. So something like that may also be of some risk management interest there. All right, let's jump over to FTX and have a little bit of zoom down. We've got a few comments here. This is the last update. So yesterday when we were talking, we got up to here. I'll just review this very quickly. This is FTX Exchange. This is Ryan Miller, the general counsel. Remember that I think it was 2 days ago. I think FTX went into Chapter 11. Maybe it was early yesterday. I went to Chapter 11 or the day before, and of course liquidation. And of course these are some of the updates that happened. So obviously the funds started getting pulled out. We covered that live yesterday, pretty much. I mean, it did happen over the 2 hours, 3 hour period. It was still happening. Investigating abnormalities with wallet movements related to consolidation of FTX balances across exchanges and clear facts as other movements not clear. We'll share more info as well as soon as we have it. Not a great thing to wake up to. Now, Ryan Miller also said following the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings, the FTX US, FTX.com initiated precautionary steps to move all digital assets to cold storage. Process was expedited this evening to mitigate damage upon observing unauthorized transactions, and that was the big drama, the big hack, as it were. So we have had one update on the official FTX since then. That is the statement here, so we're gonna have a look at that. Statement from John Ray, Chief Restructuring Officer and CEO of FTX official. Consistent with their obligations as Chapter 11 debts in possession, FTX US and FTX.com continue to make every effort to secure all assets wherever located. Number 2, among other things, we are in the process of removing trading and withdrawing functionality and moving as many digital assets as can be identified to a new cold wallet custodian. As widely reported, unauthorized access to certain assets has occurred. So that was confirmed. So unauthorized access to certain assets has occurred. So that was confirmed there. Number 3, an active fact review and mitigation exercise was initiated immediately. In response, we have been in contact with and are coordinating with law enforcement and relevant regulators. Statement from John Ray, Chief Restructuring Officer and CEO at FTX official. So that's where it's at the moment with the General Counsel for Chapter 11 liquidation. And so they have managed to protect quite a bit of the assets, but of course, a lot of the assets has gone over. So when we were covering yesterday, it was, I think we were at about $670 million had been pulled out. I think that may have gone over $1 billion, but further stuff has happened since then. Let's have a look at the FTX price at the moment. FTX price holding up. Strange in my view. This should be way lower. And maybe this will get wrecked this week. I know that having the General Counsel give a bit more a bit of an update about this with something, but $2.12, 18, up, down 18. Remember, went down to about $1.96 yesterday. We'll have a look here. How low did it get? Got to $1.91. I can't see a bright future for this, really. So, yeah, it's still trading. Welcome to crypto. Does some surprising things at times. So that's it. All right, so that's kind of where it's at the moment. So still holding up at $2.13. Remember, that's down from about $26 over the week. So if we have a look at the 7-day week here, we can see that it was up here at about $22, and it's down at $2 at the moment. So about 10% of that. So pretty crazy. Let's have a look at some of the updates from the man himself, SBF, on the run. I know there's some rumors about him being caught or something. But this is his last updates on the 12th of November. Remember, it was pretty childish, the little updates he's been giving, saying sorry and all sorts of stuff, carry on like that and doing the usual whining. You got to remember, there is a political aspect to this as well. Outside of Soros, he was second biggest donor to the Democrat midterm party, providing millions and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars to that. And maybe it was some people have a theory, maybe it was some sort of insurance in terms of covering his butt. And of course, then maybe some people even go further, that it was even a bigger conspiracy, that he may have that they may be intentionally having this collapse at this time, so that they can regulate. So there's, if people go further together with some of these conspiracies. Obviously, we're not going to cover that here, but you can make up your own mind about things like that. So let's going to jump over to SBF. He is missing in action pretty much, and as I understand, there are rumors of him being in the Bahamas and potentially have been caught or something like that. We'll see. He may very well, that insurance may really very well have paid off. Now, there is talk that he was going to potentially provide maybe up to $1 billion worth of support for the Democrat Party. And of course, if he's only provided, say, I don't know, 60 million or 50 million, something like that, then that's well short. Maybe he'll lose a few friends doing that because they're expecting that money coming in. So there's those sort of theories going out there around at the moment, so you can decide for yourself. We got Foodbar, who was giving us an amazing rundown around FTX. And of course, he was in the Twitter spaces yesterday. It was about 5 hours long. It's the one with Elon Musk and Kim.com and other people. They were giving a rundown, and Foodbar, I think, was giving the best rundown out of everybody. He is obviously in the crypto and also an auditor and programmer and things like that. So pretty cool. He provided some very cool stuff here about where all the funds were going into and how they were going in, hundreds of millions of dollars now flying out. That's 20 hours ago. We had a cool update from him around that. So we covered all of that and the general counsel, which we just talked about earlier, and so forth. So that was pretty cool. And he said good night at 14 hours ago. Now, one of the things he woke up 3 hours ago, problem with people who make name exposing stuff is that they get addicted to engagement. So he had a couple comments about that. We're going to flow through that and get to his update. So 2 hours ago, keeps getting worse. If you ever linked your bank account to FTX, shut it down. So remember yesterday, people were talking about deleting the app and not opening the app for FTX. And now, of course, the people that have got their bank accounts in the bank on there may also be vulnerable as well. If you ever linked your bank account, FTX, shut it down or move funds elsewhere. Someone on the inside is trying to access customer funds via TradeFi rails now, and it's got some evidence around that posted. The other thing, of course, had a few things which shut. The above message refers to an access via Plaid, which shut down FTX earlier today and hasn't been able to confirm any wrongdoing yet. Unclear whether acting on direct bank account details. So that's still a question mark. It would be an obscene level of fraud, hard to believe, but so is everything else. So a couple of updates there. Shot Chaser, not sure what this one here is about. Yeah, that was the one that we saw yesterday. We looked at that already. That was the Reuters article, I believe, that we read yesterday. So I had a couple more updates. Reason 1500 KYC. So we're going to jump through that. I think we're going to jump through all that. So that was pretty much the update from him. Let's jump over to Autism Capital. They've been running updates as well around FTX. So we had a couple of updates there. We've got 18 hours ago. This was a bit earlier than we were covering it at this time. If you had money on FTX, you should withdraw it. FTX currently having funds drained. We did cover all that. Fresh and Galos Capital has 100 million stuck on FTX. Oh my gosh, this is what I mean talking about the cascading effect. All the players that are using those exchanges and, one of the top exchanges, and now they're going down the Googler, 50% of total holdings, 50% of total holdings. Oh man. So victims, not just individuals, but large funds and potentially exchanges, stable coins are being, impacted as well. There's lots of different fallouts from these. Alert, high probability insiders at FTX are currently trying to run off with funds. Both FTX and FTX US wallets have now been affected. So we talked about that. 380 million, but it was well by 670 million by the time we looked at it. So that's kept on going as well. Tether begins blacklisting the FTX attackers USDC. So now you've got the players now trying to track these funds and then trying to either hold them some way like that if they go on centralized exchanges, this or that. So you've got Tether begins blacklisting FTX attackers USDT and ring-fencing those stable coins. So there we are. Rare photo of Gary Wang, Sam Bankman-Friedman, and Binance Grinder CFO. They're all party time there, enjoying the highlight of right in the top there. We've got a little update here of Elon Musk's reaction to the SBF meeting, taking earlier Twitter spaces there. Now, I haven't actually got that played, so I'm not sure if that's actually playing.
Well, there really wasn't any SBF Twitter coverage.
Yeah, so that's a little play. I might actually mix that in later on and post it on the live stream. And we'll see how we get on. Not on the live stream, on another video. The source insight, this is 16 hours ago, FTX shares and alpha stimulants with organization. So lots of updates here. We're just going to jump up into this one here. This was 8 hours ago. Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison said that she, Mr. Bankman-Friedman, and 2 other FTX executives were aware of the decision to send customer funds to Alameda. So that was a part of the funds there. Reuters and BlockFi 7 hours ago confirmed that SBF had a backdoor that could move funds between FTX and Alameda without triggering internal audits or accounting. This allowed Sam to borrow one-to-one any amount of user deposits between the 2 separate entities. So that was a big problem there. So it doesn't appear that to be the case. Let's go. We've got Black Hat, White Hat there. I think we're going to jump through some of this. Jump through this. 6 hours ago, breaking insiders claim that SBF is still in Nassau, the location of SBF there. That's Sam, the former CEO. FTX HQ has been taken over by Royal Bahamian police in civilian clothing. Liquidators SBF and SBF's father, Joe Bankman, have all been meeting. So there we are. That seems to be the last update we had there. Let's have a look here. People are currently tracking this 13 hours ago. People are currently tracking the plane, apparently, as well. When you're just going there. What else there? I think we're just jumping through some of this. 5 hours ago. Let's move through all this. 4 hours ago, possible data point that FTX solvency issues may have gone back as far as mid-2021. Either that or color into the way Sam operated. So I'm not surprised about that, to be honest. Let's jump through some of this. More insight into stimulant are used at FTX. So it's talking about some of the problems that they had with the platform that have got them in the situation. And then finally, 7 hours ago, update on FTX hacks. There are rumors that Kraken has found the FTX attacker. Credible sources are sharing it seems more likely to be a black hat group. The hacker is not yet confirmed. We want to crowdsource the search. So that was kind of where they left off, and I think they posted that. We talked about that earlier. With the black hat, white hat sites down here. Here they are here. Confidence and this was given at 80%. So not 100%, but 80%. Those are some of the links there for Autism Capital on Twitter. Let's jump over to, we're going to change topics a little bit there about FTX. So that's really starting to evolve. And of course, we've got El Capo Crypto, my favorite commentators on the space here. And, this is where we're talking about potentially getting our bottom, our 14K, or even Richard Hart's 11K and pray sometime in November. Seems a likely period. It could also happen in the first half of December. We have still got one Fed rate hike at the 14th. We've got the inflation PCE indicator coming in on the, I think it's the 1st of December. So we've still got some decent issues coming in there. So definitely November still looking on track at this stage. So good morning, says El Capo. That was 15 hours ago. I'm going to jump through Matic there. 15 hours ago, expecting 40 to 50% drop in average altcoins capitulation. So he's still on track for that. No change from him in terms of his where he sees things going. So that is still on plan. And of course, we may have a rough week ahead for the crypto market there. So let's see how we go. That is kind of the week ahead is when we're kind of expecting the big capitulation. And of course, it could start anytime. So we'll be watching that very carefully. I'd just say be very careful with your risk management this week. This week seems to be shaky. We're at 16,777 BTC, but it could just go bump down this week. So just be careful out there. Obviously, nothing on this channel is investment advice, but you need to do your own investment due diligence on anything. All right, so cool. That's where we're up to. We're going to close out of a lot of that stuff in the markets, and we're going to get into the Hex ecosystem. We're coming up to 10 minutes left in the day, and then we're about to hit the 13th on UTC time. So that's coming up pretty closely. We've got the counter here. Let me refresh the counter because it's a little bit out of date. It doesn't reset itself. We've got the counter here, the 12th of November at 23:52. We're about to hit over to 13th of November at 0 UTC time. And my understanding that is the time when the Hedron, the Hex HSI stakes, auctions, the HSI auctions are opening up. Pretty sure that is the time. So we will see that in a minute. We're going to talk about that. Check out hex.com, links in the chat. But let's jump away to the Hex ecosystem. Before we do that, we're going to get into the chat and see who else is in the house. Probably got a few more people jumped in there since I did my opening. Let's see who else in here. Magnus in there. Hey, Magnus. Sandy Beach. Hello, Sandy Beach. Hi, everybody. CP says, hey, buddy, I'm up tonight in the UK listing live, says CP. Nice one. Appreciate it. And I hope everybody's doing well in the UK. Markets are aligning for a last leg down for the end of the bear market, says Brennan. Yeah, that's what we're kind of characterizing at the moment. There's definitely something like that. Who else there? We got Pio. Hello from the Netherlands. Hello, good to see you. A Pio. Is that like a Peter? Then a Peter name? A Pieter. Good to see you in the house. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. J-Man says, woohoo! Hey, good to see J-Man. Mr. D, g'day, Superman. Staying up late for this in the UK. Great stuff here, says Mr. D. Hey, nice one. It's great to have people from the UK in the house so early, actually. In my day, anyway. Just minted for more for policies lies beneath. Yeah, actually, did I talk about the poll? I'm not sure if I did, but here, will you be bidding on Hex HSI auctions? Yes, but on my own. Yes, via Poly, which is the Maximus team. Yes, by a small pool, small groups. So some people, if they know each other, maybe, and they've got enough strong enough relationship, they've been doing that. We talked about potential whale group doing that, and of course, no. So get in there. We've got 46 votes. We'll check that out later on. The plane says Sandy. Yeah. A blast from the past, Fantasy Island, says Mr. D. True. Lammy says tinfoil hat. Supposedly John Louis, who was on the plane, is shifty as he is a close associate of George Soros, and he is a member of the WF. Crazy world, crazy times. I know. But they're making their moves. And they're very public about it these days too, which makes it even scarier. And when you're that confident. Hello from the Balkans, says Marco. Good to see you, Marco, and all the best there in the Balkans there. All right, so cool. Let's see where we're at to. We got Hex price at 3.368 cents. Kind of feels just like it's been sitting there for a little while, but it's holding up pretty nicely. There. Now, part of the video is called Richard Hart's Secrets to Hex, and of course, I was going to do a little poll on that later, but that is definitely coming up. I'm actually thinking about maybe fleshing that out in another video. So, pretty much, someone asked him on his Twitter Spaces. We'll get to towards the end. So stay tuned for that. Richard Hart's Secret to Hex. We'll get to that at the end of the live stream. So stay tuned for that. Hex at the moment, though, 3.368 cents. Let's pull up the timeline. And we're going to race through a lot of charts. We've got a lot of charts to race through. So we're going to race through these. We're currently 25 minutes into the live stream. And, of course, we're still in the accumulation zone for accumulating. And, of course, we had the US midterms not finished yet. Obviously, we got Nevada. And what I got it wrong yesterday, Nevada and what's the Curie Lake stake? I keep forgetting. I don't know why. And we've also got Georgia, the runoffs, but it really depends on Nevada and what's the state next door? Not Philadelphia, not Phila something. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I've looked at it 1,000 times, and you'd think I remember, but I can't remember. So that's coming up as well. with Blake Masters. Oh man, I probably should have had the map up. That would probably be a lot easier. All right, so we got US elections coming up. They're not finished yet. Arizona, says Sandy Beach here. Arizona, my goodness, I just don't know why. I've looked at it 1,000 times, Sandy. You'd think I'd know that. Anyway, so yeah, Arizona and Nevada, they're on their ones there. So Arizona's outside for the Republican, outside chance, and Nevada seems to also be an outside chance. We've still got a bit of time to go, and then of course that's kind of probably leaning to Democrat at this stage, but outside chance for Republicans. And the governor race, Kerry, that look, the remaining numbers are pretty large. I think it's something like maybe 400,000, 500,000, somewhere in that ballpark, expected still to come in. And I think that the majority of that's probably going to end up being, like 70% plus being Republican. So they should flip the governorship there. The Senate race there is going to be tight when the final numbers come in. So it could be 10,000 either side is kind of where I feel that's going at this stage. So yeah, that's an outside chance there on that one. All right, so cool. We've got possible though, because it'll be pretty close, whatever the final result is, once all these majority Republican votes come in that are expected. All right, so cool. We've got that there. So yeah, we've got that. That's going to be coming in. We'll have a better idea on that Monday. My guess is we should hopefully have the most of those votes in by Monday, Tuesday at the latest, I'd imagine. They're taking up a very long time. Definitely needs to be reformed, the Kansas elections there. Hex HSI auctions, that obviously that's where we are today, so we're going to talk about that. And of course, we've got Pulsechain V3 testnet wildcard. Don't know when it's going to be. I've just got that as a placeholder. If we get that before the end of the year, that'd be kind of bullish. That'd be quite a bullish sign if we get that. That'd be pretty cool. I really don't know what would be holding them up too much. Maybe, I don't know, it takes 3 months to get the head around it, set up the infrastructure, things like that, do the 0.25% fee addition, modify some of the parameters, escalate function perhaps. So yeah, we'll see. We'll wait for that. Obviously, I'm waiting. The timing for me, it's more important. Obviously, get the timing in there. So before Christmas would be pretty nice. Maybe if we can find this bottom in the crypto market, that would be cool. Now, I do know Richard is kind of frustrated with all the Bitcoin hanging around from all these hacks and things like that, and he wants that all to be dumped and get over and done with, so we can get a bottom of the market. So hopefully we'll get that sooner than later. And we all want to launch. We don't want to launch when the market's still going to have a major decrease in value. And we'll launch when that's kind of out of the road, and we can launch. So hopefully, maybe a second half of December is kind of feeling the most bullish time for me in terms of second half of December, where maybe things will just all play out together. We've also got the PCE inflation rate, as I said, coming up on the 1st of December. And then we've got the Fed rate hikes coming up on the 14th. These are our two key financial indicators in my view. We've got a few other major ones, but these are the two that I think are going to be of particular note. They've got the Hex third birthday coming up on the 2nd of December so far. And Hex is holding up fairly well at the moment at 3.368 cents. So obviously when we got back down to, I think it's this 2.29 cents here, the other day with the big whale that sold that 85 million Hex, about $2.1 million drained from the pool. That was about 95.5% or a pullback from the top from, I think, was 19th September 2021. We reached approximately around 52 cents. Some people talk about 56 cents, some people talk about 51 cents, but 52 cents kind of feels about where most charts fit there. So it's kind of cool and so forth. So I think we're just going to mull along here for a little bit at the moment, and maybe when we get past all this bearish stuff here, moving into late November, we might get a little bit of a rise there. Not expecting much of a rise from the Hex third birthday, but I think that after the 15th of the month, after the Fed rate hike, maybe if we get that out of the way and the Fed is kind of pivoting, maybe the Christmas period could be a nice little rally. We'll see. That's kind of where I feel the price is going to go at the moment. Let's jump over. How many minutes we've got? We're about to click over the day, so we're about to get a new day chart here, and we're going to get another little kind of a doji hammer in here as well. We had a butterfly the day before. Didn't really give us that positive momentum, but it's held up here at the moment in the old Hex chart. Let's go to the Hex whale bot and see what's happened in the last 24 hours. Not a lot from the looks of it, not a lot. 20 hours ago, 300,000 end of stake, so we have some penalties there. 1,047 days versus 1,730. That was a pretty small one, but we got some penalties, some more penalties. So we had a couple of penalties. That's pretty much it. Nothing to see there, folks. On the ETH Power chain, only $1,418,000 of volume, really low. And Hex all the way down at number 17. It's moved up one spot from yesterday at 0002988. $1,300 in 24-hour volume. Very small stuff happening on there. That's this is quite a few pairs, but that's the top one. $38,000 in liquidity. Nothing much to see there at the moment. We've got the ETH on the ETH Fair network at 0001. That looks like it's gone up. Yeah, 17% over 24 hours. It's got $1,600 of volume and 4,600 in the main trading pair there. Obviously, there's Hedron pairs as well. That's pretty much it for there on those networks. Hedron, let's get into that. Hedron at the moment is looking pretty amazing. Like I say, 71,000 T-shares up for grabs, folks. Pretty amazing. About 0.68% of all T-shares are up for grabs. That's a big deal. I'm interested to see what the whales do, what the poly does in the betting in terms of maybe the origin accounts. There's lots of stuff there, lots of different outcomes potential. So I'm really excited to see that sort of thing played out. So cool. I see Sandy Beach got some sort of update notification now. Try and have a look at that. We got the price at 2,800, and of course the bottom is at 2,500 today. And we've been stuck in this here. We didn't have this big rally, exponential rally or parabolic rally in here. Went the other way instead. We got almost parabolic down the other way, but we have recovered. We pretty much bounced around. We got down to about 2,300. Found some sort of support in the 2,500, 600, and we've had a nice little green day today, 2,800. But huge amount of HSIs, everything up for grabs. First day, 24,000 T-shares. It's going to be a big day for bidding. We've just clicked over, I think, on the calendar. So we're now on the 13th UTC time. So we're going to jump very quickly to some of the updates there. Let's jump over to the Acosa DApp, out of order now, but we're going to get to here just to make sure we've got all these available now. So looks like that's all up for grabs. We should expect that to flick into here. So these all seem to be up. Start auction. So all these can be start auction now. So the auction has opened. Woohoo! Rock on. I'm clapping by myself, but you guys are clapping with me, and we are here at the time. So cool. Let's have a quick look at this tweet that I think Sandy's given us some alpha tweet there. So Alex made an announcement about some kind of math error. Now I think I have got Alex's thing there. So we're going to come back to this. So we'll come back to that. We've got Dev Huey has provided a lot of details here in terms of data. So we've been following that pretty closely with his updates. So he's been really good. And he's got his website. Of course, we've been using the hexmodel.com. So he's been posting a lot of stuff around the Hedron and the Hedron. Yeah, so we've been using that hex.com model. So it's hex.model.com, hexmodel.com. So we've been looking at that quite a bit. So we're going to jump over to his website. I don't know if he's got anything here either. But these Hex HSIs up for grab. They can be pushed into the auction now as well. I'm just going through some of these. I think that's kind of it from him. Yeah, so we're going to jump to his website, which is this one here. And we can see all the data at the moment. So let's have a look at this. Hopefully an update there. We got 71,272 T-shares up for grabs, 6,744 HSIs, folks, and 556 million Hex up for grabs. This is the carrot. This is the golden pot of gold. It's called it the pot of gold. And of course, people are going to be after that. It's got lots of breakdowns around T-shares and stake days and things like that. It's going to be pretty exciting. We've got all the lists of all the ones up for grabs, but of course, we can see that also on the Acosa app there as well, on the Acosa app there. So cool. These people can now available for auction. Start auction. I'm not starting the auction, but they can do. Oh, look, they're all in. Woo-hoo-hoo! We've got 4 in there already. Look at that. So how many T-shares? We got 1 T-share, 10 T-shares here. This is a big one. So cool. 30 million Hedron on that. And we've got the bids here. We've got the current bids. And of course, they're ticking over. We're expecting to see, I think we're expecting to see around about 2,500, 2,600, 24,000 T-shares over the next 24 hours. Sort of they just come in as they mature. Boom, 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 boom. And as people put them into the auction there. So far we've got 4. Look, it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be so good. And look at all these coming in. Look at them. They just go page after page. 6,872 on here, man. Is that crazy or what? That is some crazy stuff right there. Now, there are some big ones in here. We're going to go scroll through some of those. There, where are they? They are huge. So we're going to go through some of these. I'm trying to find the particularly big ones here. 1.4 T-shares, 7 T-shares. I thought there was a huge one coming up here. 5 T-shares. Where are the big ones? Where are the big ones? I'm just manually going through these. I know it's a little bit archaic, but that's kind of cool. Now, obviously, we can see the top ones at the top here. And here, we can see the really big ones here. 10 million hex staked, 555s. I mean, there's all the big ones, but I'm just trying to see where they are in terms of the auction page coming up, in terms of the time reference and so forth. So lots of T-shares. I mean, they just keep coming, right? There's lots of B-share ones, but the T-share ones are coming in slowly and surely. So cool. What do you got? Any action? Start auction. So a lot of them just starting auction, clicking over. Pretty crazy stuff there. 55 T-shares and so on. So there's 6,870, heaps of them. We've jumped from 4 to 6 now. We've got 6 in the auction. So let's have a look at a couple of these. What do we got here? 10 T-shares is the biggest one so far. It's a 555 5-day stake, 75,000 hex, and so forth. We've got a 10x bonus in that. So not all of them have the bonuses from the launch phase. I mean, the first 100 days we had that big launch phase. Had a big every 10 days it would go down from 10x to 9x to 7x, etc. This one's got the first week, the 10x. It's got 30 million mintable Hedron in it. And of course, the current bid is 59.6 million Hedron on that. And that will close in 24 hours, folks. Woo! And you can make a bid. That's it. All you have to do is connect your wallet to Akosa and you can bid. Oh, look at that. There's more coming in. It's going to flood in, folks. We're talking about thousands coming in here. It's going to be flooding in. It's going to be cool. It's going to be crazy times. Now, obviously, we've got our poll. And of course, you can do that. You can, will you be bidding on Hex HSIs? You can do it on your own. You can do it via poly. You can do it via small syndicate or group. And of course, you don't have to do anything and so forth. So obviously, poly has been pretty big. We're going to come back to this, but let's go over to Maximus and have a look at some of their updates over the last 6 hours. Sun is up, the gas fees are cheap, and poly mint phase is still open. It's going to be a great day. So it's a good thing it's a Sunday, to be honest, or Saturday in the US. We had lots of people minting their poly, so it was pretty cool. We had the top 10 poly minters. So some big minters there. Look at 100 billion poly in there, 100 billion as well. So there's some large minters coming there. 938 Hedron pulled. So lots of people just pulling in there. Lots of, look at that, 55 billion poly minted. That was 6 hours ago. Boom, big one on that one. Whale 2 just became whale number 1 after minting 55 billion. So we've got that one jump from 100 million to 155, took number 1 spot. Pretty cool. So lots of stuff there. And on 5 hours ago, quadruple coma club, over 1 trillion Hedron pulled in poly. Now, you guys know I was talking about if they want to get in the top 10, they need to do about 1.2 trillion. They reached 1 trillion 5 hours ago and had that late rush that we talked about, right? So everything played out on that side of the coin. The price on the other hand is the only thing that hasn't played out on the Hedron price. 1 trillion Hedron, look at that, pretty awesome. 1 trillion Hedron and almost $3 million US at the current Hedron price there. So pretty good there. Even Dick Catcher there making a comment about that. Congratulations to all poly minters, says Hex Ninja. Welcome to the poly party, whale number 3. So number whale come in, 55. Everyone likes the 55555s. I wonder what that could be. What the 555's about? I have no idea. I'm a loss. I'm a loss what they're talking about. What are they doing there? Poly mint phase ends end day. So remember, the poly mint phase is a day later. So the Hex HSIs are already started just now live during this live stream. We're covering it. I guess we're coincidentally covering at the same time. In fact, because I do my live streams at 0 UTC time, typically when things all happen, right? So a lot of these new projects. That's pretty much it. So cool. What else we got there? I think that's some of the cool. So lots of people minting. Poly Maximus was deployed on ETH forks at the same time. If you have Hedron, ETH Fair, or ETH Power, you can mint poly. So 3 chains are being minting poly, and so these auctions are going on 3 chains. you are connected to either chain. Poly Maximus, the DApp will connect and allow you to mint, which is pretty cool. We've got all the links in Discord, so you can find those under useful links and get hold of that. So that's kind of cool from the Maximus team. And of course, let's have a look at how much Poly Maximus has in it. This is the live number now. Let's do a little refresh to make sure it's got the latest and greatest, and so forth. Who is the executive? No one knows. But of course, we know who developed the executor. So I'm not sure. I think there's a specific account, right? So I'm not exactly sure the mechanisms. I think they're selecting a particular account for that. And of course, you can provide suggestions to the executor on the DApp, which we'll look at in a second. So there's 1,172 billion Hedron, which is $4.5 million US at the current price of Hedron at the moment. Pretty awesome. That's their amount of Hedron they got. Now only 88%. Oh man, it's jumped up amazing. Remember, it was down to 83%. All the retail people were pushing the bid amount down. The big whales have come in and they've pushed the bidding up to 88%. So they must have gone like 100% on their bidding. They've pushed it up to 88% there. 1,032 billion is available to bid on Hex HSI stakes. They've also got 21,391 water minted. Remember, there's still a day to go to do this minting. You've still got a day to go. It doesn't finish till 0 UTC time on the 14th. And of course, the executive gas budget, 57 ETH, $71,631. They've got plenty of ETH power to do the bidding. So fun. All right, so cool. You can find all that stuff here on the Discord. The link's in the video description. Go to useful links. Just scroll up until you get to Maximus. And of course, you will find all that here. Poly and water minting. You can mint there. And of course, there is the contract address and the original tweet. If you want to look at the dashboard, which I just showed you here, if you want to look at this dashboard, you can see it on maximusportfolio.anvil.app, and that is there too. Just go to useful links in our Discord. Links in the video description. Very, very cool. All right, so let's jump over to where we are there. I think we're trying to catch up here. So here is the whales for Hedron. Let's see who's got all the bidding power. We've got all these whales at the top here, and we're going to scroll down to number 10, and we can see that very close to the wallet there. So if we go to our drilling here, we've got DAD is the Poly contract, and we can see that on the Hedron top holders list. We can see that is sitting at number 12. Remember, this is the amount available for bidding in the Hex HSI. And of course, that's at 1,021 million. And I was talking about them getting into the top 10 at 1.2 trillion. They are pretty close to that, and it's still got a day to go. And so you just never know. They may very well get to 10 there. Obviously, their bids are going to start moving through for the HSIs. So pretty exciting. This is the Polygon. This is the poly.maximus.cash DApp where you can mint your poly. You just have to connect your wallet, have your Hedron in there, and you can mint your poly. You'll have to approve and mint. There are two functions there. Also, if you want to provide some ETH for the ETH machine, you can mint some water tokens. If you want to provide some suggestions, targets like HSI targets for bidding, you can use the suggestion box, and that will go to the executor, which will be bidding on behalf of everybody in the pool. That's pretty much it. You can either provide the HSI address or the liquidation ID if it's already running up. So if this is already active, provide the HSI liquidation ID. If it is not yet active but coming up, you can provide the HSI address there as well. You've got a little information there as well for that. So cool. There is pretty much that. So I think we're up to date there. Yeah, we're already well into the 13th now. Let's go back to Icosa DApp and have a look and see how many we had up to 6. We're up to 13 now from the looks of it. So cool. We've got 14 now in the queue. This is going to just keep ticking over. People are just going to be putting more auctions, particularly the bigger ones, probably go in as we say. And some of these will be, I guess, not economic, but others maybe. Yeah, it's up to you what you think about that. We've got 1 T-share, half a T-share, a 20th of a T-share there. We've got 11, almost 11 T-shares. This is a more valuable one here, and so forth. So we've got the bids on this white column. That's pretty much it. So that's kind of cool. We've got 4 T-shares, 3 T-shares, 5 T-shares, 10 T-shares. This one's got 10 T-shares, but it's got an 8x multiplier bonus. And of course, that's similar to this 10.7 but the bid's very different. 3 million Hedron on this one, 69 million Hedron on this one. Early time, right? Early time for the bidding and so forth. So a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty epic to see how this plays out. On page 2, we're already up to 15. Let's see, they're just adding boom, 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 boom. People are throwing all these are up for due. People are starting the auction on all these, and away they go. We've already got some starting bids on all these, of course, and away they will go into that bidding. It's going to be crazy. We're expecting, I don't know, I'm expecting maybe somewhere 2,600, somewhere like that. I think it's 2,600 into the pool for over the 24 hours. So it's going to be pretty crazy as well. We've got a total of 6,870, but remember, a lot of these will come out in the future. If we take it to our chart here, we see that most of them, 24,000 T-shares coming out of day 1. That's today, folks. We are live, and we've got tomorrow 3,000 T-shares, 2,900. The following day, the 15th, will be 2,222. Then 1,600 will be up for grabs, and of course, Poly. We're bidding on this. All the whales, any whale syndicates will be bidding on this. Individuals will be bidding on this, and of course, there's going to be a big Hedron burn, a big ICOSA inflation, big ICOSA rewards. If you're staking Hedron, ICOSA, and Watsa NFTs, I'm expecting over the next couple of weeks, particularly in the first couple of days, we'll see a lot of Watsa NFT burns. People were trying to capture any inflation maybe in the next couple of days. We will see some of that. I think that's reasonable to expect. So it's going to be lots of drama in this ecosystem. It's only just begun, and you are here at the beginning, the first 17 minutes, folks. So cool. That's pretty much where it is. I'm not sure if I got further than that. I think that's kind of where we're up to on the stage. Hedron at the moment, 2,733. Nothing happening there. So still a long way to go for that. Let's see who else is in the house. We've probably got more comments, and I apologize for not quite getting there. Just want to make sure we covered that first 15 minutes in particular with the opening. What else? We got a couple more comments. Jenna in the house. Good morning, Jenna. Good to see you. I think I missed that one earlier. G'day, Superman, staying up. I think I got to Mr. D earlier. Nice to see you, Mr. D. I think we got up to those. Jump through those. We got. I think we got up here. Yeah, Chuck, Arizona. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Yeah, I did that yesterday too. I had a brain freeze. The day before that, I was fine. I don't know what happened there. I just ran out of my brain there somehow. I'm glad the WF are flaunting themselves more publicly. I prefer enemies in plain sight, yeah. But it's also terrifying how confident they are because they're just doing it open. But the mainstream media won't cover it, right? They give it always because they're part of the problem. They're part of the alliance there. Sandy Beach says Alex made an announcement on that one. Yeah, I'll just go find out. I'm not sure. I thought I had Alex's one up there, so we will try and find Alex McFurdy, Alex McFurdy. What else we got? We got any updates there? Notice to all ICOSA users 33 minutes ago. We will be discussing in Telegram VC along with auctions tonight. Use ICOSA app, ICOSA Pro for auctions, which is what we're using to cover this. So that's what this is. And of course, you can find that in our Discord under if you go up to ICOSA, it's just above Maximus is ICOSA. You can find all the details here. You got apps.icosa Pro, so that's the one we're talking about. That's for all chains as well for the auctions. We've got Hex Model, which is the data site we were talking about. So this data site here by Dev Huey. So everything's there, folks, in the Discord. Links in the video description. Just go to useful links. Just scroll up looking for the 2 derivatives. There's only 2 derivative projects on top of Hex. There's the Maximus ecosystem with the perpetuals, the base, True Lucky Decimus. There's the Maxi, and of course there's the Team DAO. Now there's also Poly and Water, so they're really building out their portfolio of pooled staking products. And of course we've also got ICOSA Hedron, and that's pretty amazing too. The other thing, of course, when you get Hex and you stake Hex, you earn Hedron at the base amount. So you get one Hedron, one Hedron per B share per day served. So the longer, the more you get. It's a nice little top up to the income there. Obviously, the launch phase is over, but you still get that as a base income, which is pretty nice. All right, so cool. Yeah, we've got all the details there, so you can check all that out for that and so forth. So that's cool, nice up there. What else have we got there? There's unfortunate news, but I have been made aware of a mathematical error in the ICOSA contract. Before you read further, be aware that this is not a security issue. Your coins are safe, your stakes are safe, and your NFTs are safe. Everything, let me just jump away from Sandy there. Thanks for Sandy providing us this update. Everything will progress and move forward as expected. Auctions, and also they have evidently working, and we've been covering that. The errors in the yield bonus calculation for ICOSA and Hedron stakers. A change was made to ICOSA contract before launch to handle the possibility of massive whales attempting to break yield for smaller stakers. This change increased the decimal resolution of the staking pools from 100 to 1E18, so 18 zeros, I guess, is behind that number. And in turn, this has caused the yield bonus calculation to never actually pay out the bonus. Oh, okay, the normal yield is still paid out. Okay, simply not the bonus. The amount of accumulated yield the app tells you is still accurate. This bonus was never included in that metric, so that's fortunate. The question is, what does this mean for stakers? The yield bonus metric was removed from the app. It appears someone burnt a rather large amount of Hedron today. This will boost yield for stakers by roughly 25%. So you just got paid some nice little bonus there. Perhaps this will be seen by some as a mitigation. This boost applies to all stakers, Hedron, ICOSA, and Watsas. So moving forward, bigger, longer stakes will still perform better due to the share rate mechanism. Auctions will still happen. The burn Hedron will still mean increased yield. HSI sold with bonuses still get bonuses. And of course, those bonuses copied to Watsa. The system will continue to move forward as intended. There are no plans to fork ICOSA at this time. However, that is not to say it will never happen. I have no expectations, nor should anyone else. So there we are. That is the update there. I'll post that link in the video description there. Copy if you want to. Oh, sorry. Sandy's already posted it. So there we are. Sandy, thanks, Sandy. I just realized that. Auctions will still happen. Yep, nice one there, Sandy. Appreciate that. Christian in the house there as well. Hello, family. Got on late. Good to see you, Christian. Happy weekend. Good to see everybody. Says Andrew. Nice to see Andrew as always. How do we know if Polly wins an auction? I'm not sure if that's on their DApp. They don't have it on this one. I'm not sure whether that will be on. I think you might have to go to the blockchain to see that. I'm not actually sure about that. It's a good question. If anyone knows the answer to that in the chat, let us know. I'm just trying to think about where that might be. Actually, I think it might be on the Maximus DAO here. Maybe it's on this one here. Maybe they've got that on here. Early in stakes. No, that's going to take a while. It's going to take 24 hours before they win anything anyway. So it's a mute point. Maybe we'll look at that before tomorrow. There's Sandy Beach. That it's going to take 24 hours to win an auction. I might target those exercises that people don't want, says Christian. Just make sure that they're economic, Christian. So make sure do your spreadsheets on that. Try to do so solo bidding. I see building transaction with a progress bar. Do I have to wait for that before I can start an auction? Trying to see. So I see building transaction with a progress bar. You should just be able to bid on any of those ones that are already up. So any of these ones that are up here, you can just go to the bid and bid on them. So yeah, this one's been accounted. Really, this one's been accounted there. How many we got now? How many we got up there? We got 27 up already. So slowly and surely they're coming to auction. 116 out of 6 gonna take a while, says Andrew. Gonna take a while, yeah. Who's the executor? I'm not sure. And they got so much Hedron that might be able to get it all. They got a lot, but there are other whales out there. So, some people are probably going to be willing to play more than potentially the executor and executor and Dip Catcher, any involvement there. Because Dip Catcher's going to feed his strategies in through the suggestion box. Yeah. Is there any site that shows the daily ICOSA yield for staked ICOSA Hedron Watsas? Yes. So I think that is on. You can find that information on the. Let me just jump back to the right place. The Hex model sites. So there's ICOSA Watsa. So you can use all that on Hex model. So that is in our Discord as well. We showed that here as well. So let me go back up here. Where is it? Hex model. Hex HSI auction stats are in here. They also have those yields as well. So you can just jump to ICOSA and Watsa and have a look at the yields. So just click that. So you can check all that out. ICOSA yield, Hedron yield. So that's all on there. Check that out on that one. Epic Crypto says, did you see Alex Lay's tweet? Yeah, we sort of looked at that. Christian says, imagine if the price value of Hedron goes up and people just dumping the Hedron into the auction. Yeah, that's another side of it. You've got to take into account. All I can do is dream, says Christian. You mean to tell me that he caught that now from all this time? Damn, yeah, that's unfortunate, but it was a late change. It's always the late changes that you do to a contract that might get you that catch that error there. I just jumped in to check my numbers, and yes, there is a jump in yield. Notice that the bonus percentage now has been removed. Right, okay, cool. Thanks for that, Epic Crypto. Nice little drop there from that one. All right, so cool. Yeah, like we expected this to be a big Hedron burn with these auctions. But also a big ICOSA inflation event, which means that it's a bit like what I call the big fortnight, big payday for this contract with all these huge state HSIs coming in. So we've got, let me jump over to back to the HSI buybacks. This kind of chart tells you all the story, what we're seeing happening. So we've got this big candle here. That is what's coming into the auctions. And of course, we can see all those auctions coming in here. We have more and more coming in. We've got 32 now. We start off at 4. Remember, we saw the first 4. This is kind of becoming a bit of an archive video today. We do this all the time on this channel. We're always covering, because we do the live streams at this time, we always get the opening of these new products, which I love. I love that. It's great. But we've got all these other ones. You can start the auction yourself and click that in. So all these are going to kick in here too. Now these are the stake IDs on these as well. So you got stake IDs there. Where else there? So let's jump over to the Poly contract. So you've got the liquidation ID. So liquidation is a number given to each liquidation auction. It will be a number between 30 and 7,000. It's used to collect data about HSI liquidations. Leave it blank if this HSI liquidation auction has not started yet, and so forth. So cool. We've got the HSI address as well. All right, so cool. What else? I think we're going to jump through that. Let's go through here. I'm just trying to look at the information that's on here, actually. We've got the stake ID on the left here. We've got the progress through of the stake itself. We've got the amount of hexes that's in that stake. Then we've got the stake days, how long the stake is for. We've got the amount of T-shares that this has. We've got the amount of Hedron bonus that's in the stake. And, of course, the amount of mintable Hedron that you could accrue and claim over that period of time. So that's all your value that's inside these stakes. We've got the current bidder that's bidding on at the moment, wallets, and then we've got the current bid. And so therefore, we've got 24 hours pretty much for all these auctions to finish. I can't remember, is it a 5-minute extension? I think if someone bids, I think there's a 5-minute extension clock on these auctions. Pretty easy to bid, though. You just click bid as long as you've got the Hedron to outbeat this one here. If you've got more than 306,000 Hedron, you should be able to beat that. Obviously, you got to take into account the gas fees. Let's have a look at the gas fees and see what the gas fees are at the moment on the Ethereum. Remember, it's 3 chains this is happening on. It's happening on the other chains as well. Epower, Fair. They're obviously low value chains, but we've got 12 Gwei at the moment. 12 Gwei on the gas tracker. ETH is the main game, as we say, until Pulsechain comes. World domination, and of course we've got 12 Gwei. So it's it's okay. It's not as cheap as we would like under 10 Gwei, like 7 or 8. That'd be pretty nice. But 12 Gwei is not as bad. So cool. If you're going to be bidding on these, you want to make a spreadsheet. You want to know what the value of the stake is. Now, we may very well see people overbidding on some stakes. That's possible because if people are saying, well, Hex is going to have a rally in the future, it may be worth 3.3 cents today, but it might be worth 20 cents in 6 months' time. Hedron and ICOSA are likely to go up too with the Hex going up. So these things might be a discount. I'm overpaying today, but I might get 10x in the future. So there's this kind of play going as well. Obviously, people are going to try and model based on the current value, which is cool. But some people will be modeling on future value as well, no doubt. So you might see some interesting auctions going on. It's going to be pretty fun to see that. All right, so cool. That's pretty much it. So really big update there. Let's see what people have said about this update that he's given around the bonuses. Thank you for the clarity, sir. Very bullish still. Thanks for the heads up, and thank you for taking some time actually reward folks for what they missed out on with the old burn there. So some magical burn happened. Real appreciate the transparency from the respect you have. You got to remember that the big burn's not going to happen until the first auctions go through. So the big burn today, if we do have 24,000 T-shares get one in the period's not till they close the next day, and then the winning bid gets burned, right? Only the winning bid gets burned. So really appreciate the transparency, for the respect you have for your Hedron and Hex community, despite having minor flaws. Thank you for the building these amazing projects. So it looks like a bit of compensation there. So let's just have a quick look at that again with this here. So the error is in the yield bonus calculation because the Hedron stakers. Change has been made to their contract before the launch, so there was the big issue there. In turn, this has caused the yield bonus calculation to never actually pay out the bonuses. The normal year is still paid out, simply not the bonus. The amount of accumulated yield the app tells you is still accurate. This bonus was never included in that metric, and so forth. So cool. What else? The yield bonus metric was removed from the app. That's important to know. It appears someone burnt a rather large amount of Hedron today. This will boost yield for all stakers by roughly 25%. So looks like a little bit of compensation. Anyway, so take it for what you will. No expectations from the work of others. That's how it works there. All right, so cool. So there's lots of cool stuff happening there. A lot of people in the house talking about that. Thank you for the honesty. Still love the product. So yeah, there we are. So that's pretty much it on that one. Cool. Let's have a look at Maximus. See if Maximus has got any updates on Maximus there. 25 minutes ago. 1 hour ago, Molly Maximus holds over 1% of Hedron supply. That's another good metric. So I talked about it being over $1 trillion and so forth. So cool. Poly Maximus Hedron stake has started matching. So let's jump over to Dipcatcher. Dipcatcher's given us some little information there too. So 1 hour poly minting continues for just over 48 hours longer. Okay, starting in 38 minutes, the initial Hedron stake will begin. And so 48 hours more for the poly minting, not 24. At this point, all new Hedron pulled is all simply adding to the bidding budget. Now, let me pull up. I think I've got the calendar. Let me pull up the calendar. Have I got the calendar here? I thought I did. No, it's not. I thought I had it. I had it the other day. So, yeah, it looks like 2 days left to go. 14th UTC. That doesn't make quite sense to me. But anyway, let's jump back to Maximus. Where I was up to? Catcher. So cool. Poly Maximus Hedron stake has officially started. So remember that we got up to 88%. Was going to be bid, if you recall, 88%. Let me jump back to the site there. So 88% was going to be biddable on the Hex HSIs. The difference is going to be staked. So the difference is going to be staked in Hedron stake. And we had that. Make sure I got to find where Dipcatcher is. There it is. So Maximus stake has officially started 28 minutes ago. 139 billion Hedron, and that's been staked. So that's cool. And I think that's it for the updates. Yeah, so that's it for the updates for the time being. They'll no doubt just keep updating around their bidding and the executor and things like that over the next 24 hours, and particularly tomorrow when the first auctions all close off after 24 hours. That's kind of happening. So we've got to wait actually quite a bit of time. 39 so far in the auctions. So cool. And we start off at 4. We covered the first 4 live on this channel. So if you want to rewind, you can get back to the beginning and see what the first ones were. But of course, it doesn't really matter. People are following for the most part in the order. The big whales will be after the big juicy ones that are coming out, the big ones with over 1 million X in them, with the big X bonuses. These are the ones that will be chasing the most, and then they'll be working themselves down. Now, they'll be bidding on lots of different valuable T-shares as well. It's all about the value of the individual T-share itself. So if you think about it, or maybe there's a couple of ways of valuing it. Maybe a normalized T-share with the Hedron in it as well. So you normalize all the Hedron value into T-share value and stuff like that. There's different ways of looking at that. All right, so cool. What else? I think that's kind of it. What's the top bid at the moment? We've got 222 million Hedron on this one. 17 T-shares. That's not too bad. What else there we got on these ones? 2 T-shares, 7 T-shares. We've got 38 million on that one. The final page at the moment. 14 T-shares. We've got 79 million on that one at the moment. 80 million on 23 T-shares. So there's some pretty decent ones. 7 T-shares, got 39 on that. So there's some real discrepancies between some of these. It's got a 10x Hedron bonus as well, so forth. So yeah, more and more auctions are coming into play. In fact, we're up to 41 there. Let's have a look on the front page again. Still think this is an order. Yeah, I think so. 10 shares, T-shares there, 75 million Hedron on that one. So it's going to be fun to see that. Pretty exciting. Right, so cool. We've got all these ones coming in, thousands of them coming in. I'm expecting somewhere like 2,600. I think that's the right number. Yeah, you can use this site in any case to drill down further on all these numbers. But these are all the big ones. If you want to go to the big ones, these are all the big ones coming in. Huge numbers. 5,555,555x in this one. So that's a pretty big one. It's got a 10x multiple bonus as well. Probably the most valuable one there. And so forth. It's got 2 billion mintable Hedron as well in it. Woohoo! Hot doggity dog. Isn't that great? 2 billion Hedron in that. That's the juicy one as well. Sometimes I forget that I'm live streaming. I start using words like juicy, but this is the way it goes. What else there? Let's got a couple more comments in the house, have we? Let's get to some of that. Let's get in some of this. Yeah, so Epic Crypto said I jumped into my check and my numbers, and yes, the yield has jumped. Nice one. That way of thinking it will work on 5 for 5 stakes. Are you rooting for Israel or Alex tonight? I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Legal Blitz. That one here. Let's look here. We're going to end the poll. Let's end the poll. I think we've had enough time for the poll. 85 votes. That's pretty impressive. So let's end the poll. See what we got the final results. Will you be bidding on the Hex HSI auctions? No, 55%. So 55% out of 85 said no. Yes, via Poly, 27% out of that. So that's pretty cool. Yes, but on my own, 17%. Nice to see that, actually. I'm pretty pleased to see that. Yes, but in a small group, 0% there. So no one's in any whale syndicates, anything. 85%. So does that look about right? I think that looks about right to me. Out of 85 voters, obviously, probably a fairly engaged audience in that view. But that does feel about right to me. So cool. Tim Top's in the house there. What's up, Hexagons? Good to see you, Tim Top. Let's jump back to the real time. So obviously you guys can watch this over every hour if you want to check out each of these. If you want to bid on them, of course, you do need to value them and then make some assessments around the valuation. Obviously just with the market prices and where you think that might go in the future might influence your bidding. Obviously the Hedron at the moment, let's see where the price is. Oh, it actually dipped down. Remember, just after the opening, and we got down to 2,700 or something. It's now just gone up to 2,856. So we're getting a little bit of a move higher there too. Hex, on the other hand, is down at 3,357. Not much happening there at the moment for Hex. And we got the crypto market 16,816 and 1259 for ETH there at the moment. So cool. That is it. We're going to come back to that in a second. So we'll get back to that. Let's have a look at the airdrops. We've got PLSD here at the moment. A little disappointing on PLSD, to be honest, with the market price. Let me know your thoughts on that if you've got particular thoughts on the PLSD. Now the transform. Now doesn't mean what the future might have a rally in the future. It's got a nice higher low, obviously. So we could end this thing could end up mooning later on. I'm not saying that at all, but at the moment it's down at $5.36. I would have liked to have seen it over $6, holding over $6, but it's bounced off. Seems to have bounced off $5.07. So it seems like $5 has been a more supportive line there, and so forth. So we got the plane should be green because it is slightly green today. We got a new candle. Yesterday the high was $5.95, and the low was $5.25 there. So kind of been rejected at $6, but found support at $5. Seems to be the case at the moment. We've got the transform phase over 60 days. We transform PLSD into asset tokens. The PLSD gets burned. That's still going. We've got the asset miner token, a bit like the What's NFTs. They're NFTs for getting asset tokens, and they're going over 30 days. That's going to be an interesting event when that finishes because any capital that's going into assets may just flow into PLSD at the margin. Don't expect a lot there. Probably what's more important is that you're going to have the first Pulse Bitcoin coming out. That's probably far more important, and therefore we have a Pulse Bitcoin, and therefore we'll have capital allocation to Pulse Bitcoin because the people that will be the main token coming out of the Pulse Bitcoin mining. So it's going to be fun to see that, and that will also be interesting to see how that plays into PLSD as well. Will people sell PLSD to get the Pulse Bitcoin? These strategies going on. Will the whales, because there's so much burnt out of Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Dogecoin, will they rally that? But maybe no, they won't rally that. maybe Pulse Bitcoin rallies, maybe Pulse Dogecoin gets sold off a little bit there, and maybe they rally at the end. Maybe a Pulse Dogecoin rallies at the end of the transform phase. So there's a couple of scenarios there. Let me know what you think in the chat. Let's jump over to Pulse Bitcoin and see what the head numbers are at the moment. Obviously, we're on day 23 out of 60. 7 days until we get some Pulse Bitcoin in the market. There's none trading at the moment. The first miners come out there. We got 2,933,000 Pulse Dogecoin has been transformed into asset tokens. You get 5 asset tokens for every Pulse Dogecoin. So that's 14.4 million. We got 48.12% burn so far. It's just been increasing slowly. I think since we got to about 43% somewhere like that. I think it's just slowly been trudging its way up. Yeah, we're almost at 50%. I'm pretty sure we'll get to 50%. Got plenty of time to go. 37 days to go, so plenty of time for that. Mining numbers. Let's have a look at the mining. Obviously, this is the best reward time. Is the first halvening, or halvening 0 as they call it. We've got 6,796 miners. So it's a pretty good crowd. 14 million asset tokens in the mining power. And of course, let's have a look at the amount mined so far. So this here says 1 billion, sorry, 1 million, not 1 billion, 1,065 million. Pulse Bitcoin is being mined, but not minted yet, obviously. 10.5 million is the first halvening, so we'll get the halvening 1. Remember, this is like a virtual Bitcoin, mimicking it very closely with ASIC miners instead of physical miners, your ASIC tokens as the miner. And of course, your outcome setting getting the block explorer, the asset miners getting the block reward for Bitcoin. You get the block reward, as it were. There we are. So 10.5 million is the first halvening, and of course there'll be 21 million Pulse Bitcoin, just like there is in Bitcoin. I'm not sure if the final one's supposed to come out. I can't remember the tables, the old table. I can't remember if the final one's supposed to come out in 2142 or 43 or whatever it is. The last Bitcoin comes out, but there we are. Or fraction of a Bitcoin, some Satoshis. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So that's pretty much it. The ASIC token miner, which is finishing in 7 days and 20 hours. Looks like they've changed the clock timer too. Which is probably kind of cool. They'll just add that in. 2,536 ATM miners there, 711 points there. That's actually gone up slightly. I remember we went under 700, it's back over 700. 1.8 million points, so that's about $1.8 million have gone into there. It's quite a bit of capital, if you think about it. That could have otherwise gone into Pulse Dogecoin or something like that. And they are getting asset tokens. They're not mining Pulse Bitcoin, but maybe in the future they mine Pulse Bitcoin and maybe Pulse Litecoin when that does launch as well. And you'll be able to use the asset tokens to mine at least those two tokens, I guess, is the way it's going. So yeah, they've got a lot of ecosystem. You can obviously buy asset tokens on the market now too. They should be around a fifth of the ratio of the price of Pulse Dogecoin. Pulse Bitcoin is not in the market. Don't get scammed. We've still got 7 days and 20 hours or something like that to go for that. For the first miners to get theirs minting, and they'll be excited. They got that sort of first moving advantage. But of course, if they're not familiar with liquidity pools and things like that, you know, it's going to be pretty crazy. Probably get that big wick and then come down and then some hockey stick, maybe get some that sort of thing going. I imagine if there are big whales out there that are looking to accumulate a lot of the Pulse Bitcoin, they'll be looking to cautiously increase that opportunity, depending on whether they think there's enough volume there, or maybe they'll just wait on the sidelines and let people sell down, dump, and then they'll buy, and play that game. And so they'll be mining and accumulating. That potentially could happen as well. Obviously, my speculation there, but just remember that. Right, so cool. That is where we are there. Let's have a look at the other airdrops. We're going to go through these really quickly. We've got the Zen at 11.57. And interesting on Twitter Spaces, Richard Hart talked about that. And not a big fan, as you can imagine. Paul Pleb there is at a 2.818. And that launched at the worst time, right? So the bad launch time, just the market conditions not great. That's what happens typically. And of course, this is free. So it's for Paul Plebs. So that's pretty cool. We've got the wait token there. Most people waiting as well. This is slowly being sold down. Broke down half a penny range. And it's just gone down to 0.2 of a penny. So that's where it is at the moment. Now, if you want to find out all the airdrops free claims, just go to our Pulsechain projects discussion. We've got the new tokens chat there, and just jump below that. You've got the airdrop free claims. You can find out all those there as well. Make sure you do your investment due diligence, of course. These are just a list of the projects that are either open at the moment or going to be open for minting soon. Just note the Texan token will be finishing on the 19th of November for the free claim for PulseX, Pulsechain, and of course Hex stakers as well. They all have their own qualifying criteria for that one, so you can find all those links. So that's cool. Let's jump away from the airdrops. That's quickly the airdrops there. We're going to have a quick look at our speculative play, which is the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino. That's up pretty nicely today, back up to $8.22. I did say there'll be quite a bit of volatility, and the most volatility that will come for this is when the participation rewards paid out. That's going to be in the future sometime. And then after that, it has the opportunity to start to strengthen from there. So they're obviously going to be increasing their revenue with more games. But of course, once that gets paid out, we've got to absorb that impact. This is the first sacrifice project through the Pulsechain mechanism that were, Pulsechain projects that have been doing sacrifices. This is the first one, and it has been an outstanding opening. So people got up to 28x returns. It's currently at 9x returns at the moment. So it's pretty powerful on that one. So yeah, we expect some volatility from that. We'll be following this on other days, so I'll be doing more in-depth coverage of this one on another day. That's pretty much our charts. Let's jump over to Richard Hart. He's been pretty active. Man. It's been a bit of fun yesterday with the FTX and these Twitter spaces and all sorts of stuff. And Richard's been out there. Obviously, Richard was right type of thing, and that's been out there. And so he deserves to get a lot of kudos for that. Obviously, he's been spreading that word for a long time now on a lot of the projects that got wrecked. He's been out there. He just clips all over the place. Celsius, 3 Arrows, BlockFi. I mean, it's been all over that stuff, right? So Voyager, and he deserves some credit for that. So you can't do proof of reserves. He's got lots of comments around that. So he's got cool stuff there. So he's been getting involved. Lots of clips have been thrown around about talked about all these projects and how they were flawed. And man, it's played out as good as he could possibly predict, because there's just been one after another about the centralized exchanges, and of course CeFi dApps, and of course they're all intermingled together. The pump goes up, they all mingle into together, and they pump the value, and a lot of people get wrecked. And that's why Hex and decentralized finance is really the future. I know that they also, he's telling them they're still ignoring a lot of cool stuff he says around regulation. I saw in the Twitter spaces yesterday some big influencers there, completely wrong around the regulation discussion. And I think they should listen to Richard a lot more about that too. So I think they've still got more learning, I'm sorry to say. They have still got a lot more learning. So they were talking about the FTX fallout, but then they started talking about NFTs and other stuff out there. Regulations, and it was just the most bizarre comments by some people. They've still got a lot to learn, I'm sorry, and they need to watch a few more of Richard Hart's clips, because he's on the money on these things, right? And they need to still got more awareness. So this might take a couple more years and quite a few more wrecked plebs. Millions potentially before they get onto the final track where Richard Hart. But of course, you guys are all here early, and you guys are well aware of what gets people wrecked, and of course that's a lot different. Now that's different from a price cycle and price charts, so let's not confuse projects that can get completely wrecked to price charts that have their normal parabolic dips, especially after a 10,000x. So there's very different comparisons there. Richard was saying, it's a 20x difference compared to a 10,000x dip, things like that. So there is a big contrast with price parabolics and complete collapses of projects, as well as not your keys, not your coins, which is a very important. And hopefully, if you can spread the word out there, very profound. Lots of cool clips from Richard around that as well. So cool. That is pretty much there on that one. Now there was a Twitter space, and if you haven't heard it, I'm gonna maybe record this and edit this a little bit here. But this is a Twitter space that Richard put up after the big one that was yesterday, the FTX one with Elon Musk and Kim.com. Now, Kim.com was awesome on the Twitter space. So he was a glowing light on there, and as he always is. I mean, Kim, I'm a big fan of it. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he says, but I think that he's he's right about a lot of stuff, and obviously a very good technologist. He has a great technologist crew. And so he was pretty good on that one. But this is not that one. This is Richard's ones. FTX, I was right about everything again. Now, there's a few other things on this. Richard's first opening on this. It's only about an hour. Well, it's got 1 hour and 14 minutes. Richard's kind of the first half. And then the second half is kind of Jim Rack Crypto. He's in there too, making some, just probably some challenges around other projects and things like that. But there are some things that I think that Richard's not aware of that he doesn't cover on here. And It's different for a big influencer versus YouTubers. So there's a lot, that's a whole different topic. But YouTubers aren't a big influencer. So we're not, you're not founders. You know, Richard Hart is a founder. He's a giant influencer, as opposed to a lot of the YouTubers, which are for the most part influencers, but they're not founders, and they don't have that category, right? There's a very different category class there. And of course, I think that in terms of growth in the ecosystem, YouTubers often have to grow differently to way some of the things that Richard says, right? So it's a very different comparison there. And so I think YouTubers have a lot, have to use the YouTube algorithm to their best advantage. And that's not always staying with the same thing. You have to cover a lot of other topics to grow. And we've seen that a lot lately. I could go deep dive into all that analysis for you, but that's another topic that we could cover as well. But in any case, this is his Twitter space, and it's very good. So get in there and listen to that one. We've got Tortoise Johnny in house there. Hey, Tortoise Johnny, good to see you. I'm a small, what's that, a small fish? Is that a small guppy? That says Christian. What else there? Genuine says, do you know what the 5555 thing happening in 7 days? I think it was a Pulse Bitcoin saying that. The first Pulse Bitcoin will be coming out, Genuine. Not sure of anything else in that. I might check up his tweets if you want me to do that. End 14th UTC is in 23 hours and 30 minutes, is Mr. D. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought poly minting isn't 24 hours, so I was a little bit confused by that last tweet there. I think you're right on that one, Mr. D. What was the 7-day surprise that Pulse Bitcoin was talking about? I think I'll go check that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I have not seen that one. Normally I check his tweets, but I did not check his before this live stream. Mr. D says, correction, sorry, midnight UTC at the 14th, midnight Monday in UK. So it is still around 2 days. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if we got the mint on that one. So it's, yeah, don't have any countdown clock. It probably would be nice to put a countdown clock on here. Yeah, they did have done that in the past. Okay, says Kristen, August. Listening, thanks, Superman, for all the updated. And you're welcome to Iron Life. What else do they have? Kate Fergus in the house. Hey, Kate Fergus, good to see you as well. Let's see where the Hedron price is at, 2883. That's pretty much where we're at the moment. We're going to jump over to all the auctions. Let's have a look at the auctions here. I'm just trying to make sure I'm up to date on this one. We've got 71 auctions in the play now, folks. 71 auctions. Woo-hoo-hoo! And expecting to have maybe up to 2,600 over the next 24 hours. Machiavelli up and to the right there. SBF and 2 FDX associates are currently being detained by authorities in Bahamas. Yeah, I think we kind of indicated that earlier in one of the tweets, Lammy, and hopefully they have got him. He'll be betting on his friends in the US government to try and help him out, probably. But he may have, because since he was, like I said, he was promising something like $1 billion. Maybe the 60, 70 million dollars, whatever he gave, isn't enough insurance. We'll see. All right, so cool. That is where we are on there. Let's jump over to, we've got a couple more comments to make. So did I paste this in the chat? I think I may have. Let me just paste that. That is RH Twitter space. And he's got some good comments at the beginning. So cool. All right, let's jump over to Rack and Michelle. Now, Rack and Michelle is back on deck, not as common as he was, because obviously he's got different things going on. But of course, our last update from Rack and Michelle was huge. Now, obviously, giant, pretty much number one, as far as I can tell, whale in space across Pulsechain, Pulsex, and X. Everything blockchain. They're obviously doing stuff, bring at least 4 products that will be using Pulsechain in some way. And of course, coin listing sites, exchanges, capital, on-ramp, off-ramps, all that sort of thing coming into together. Very excited about where Reckon's going. And obviously, they're waiting for Pulsechain, just like everybody else. We've got, he posted a couple of comments around regulatory. The SEC previously ruled Ethereum not being a security, did it not? So he's got comments around that. He's got comments on the 10th here. The plot thickens. Talking about Supreme Court signals that may allow court challenges to the SEC and FTC. And I think that would be a good move by the Supreme Court. I think that there needs to be good challenges to these guys, particularly given some of the fallout with the FTX and so forth. So I think that is going to be important there. Is it or me? Says on the 12th there, Richard Hart trending on multiple channels. We had Richard Hart trending on Twitter, which Richard Hart's been trending now a lot lately. But also Hex was trending at the same time. Isn't that cool? Both at the same time. Welcome to DeFi, folks. Real DeFi. Your keys, your coins and mint your own inflation. That's pretty much it. So it's cool, or own yield, as we say. With the Hex Daily Stats, hot off the press. I'm a little bit behind on the Hex Daily Stats. We're up to now 25 on the live, and we're waiting for day 1076. Not out yet, though, so we might be 55 minutes into day 1077, but we've still got a while to go. So heading towards, was it 18 days? 18 days, something like that, away from the Hex third birthday. Have a look on the old spreadsheet here. Yeah, 18 days away from Hex's third birthday, folks. Are looking good. Are you excited? I'm excited. I think we're going to be in our 4th year then. That's such a great narrative as well. 4th year. So very exciting. All right, so cool. That is some of the cool stuff happening. We've got the Gwei at 11 at the moment, so that's not too bad either. Now, I was going to look up Pulse Bitcoin, wasn't I? That's pretty much our coverage on some of that. Let's have a look at Pulse Bitcoin. I think I've got that. Pulse info. Yeah, I think it's this one here. Let's see what we've got from him, since some people were making some comments there. I think it was genuine. Check out this Uniswap V3 impairment loss calculator. I don't think I've covered that, but just make a little week, just a little over a week from now, the very first Pulse Bitcoin will be mined into existence. That's what I said. So that's no difference there. This marks a new era of Bitcoin. Hope you're ready because the countdown has started. That seems to be it on there. That's the last 24 hours. I'm not sure if he's mentioned anything else about 555 previously. Let's have a look down here. Right, so that's on the 12th there. I don't see anything here on 5555 or 555. So yeah, all the way now, about a week from now, Pulse Bitcoin will be on the market. So cool, we have covered that. So cool, I might actually put this into a video later on, so stay tuned for that. That's pretty much it. We're waiting for Hex Day 1076. In the meantime, let's get back over to the Koza DApp and see how many we've got up for auction at the moment. 74 up in auction at the moment. So let me know in the chat there if you've actually bid on any. Let us know, and let me see if I can get up to date on some of these. I've got a comment in there. Iron Life says, yes, it was a good chat. You're referring to the Richard Hart one there, I take it. What else? We've got a couple other comments. Kate Figure says, will you be on the Hex Crew suit, man? No, Kate Figure, but you will be. You will be, and man, that'd be so cool. I know it's going to be great, Kate Figure. Hope you can. I don't know if you're not in our Discord, but hopefully you'll post some pictures or something. Let us know how that goes. That'd be really, really cool. Torrens in house there. Think he paid enough already to stay free? Probably. Oh yeah. SBF there. Yeah. Yep. Says Torrent. Brennan says just got back. Had the Wi-Fi turned off from thunderstorms. How's the auctions going? Yeah, we've got 78 in the auctions now. I'm having a look through some of these. So these are the ones in auctions. Yeah, so active HSI Hex Day auctions. So I'll post this link as well in the chat, but it is in our Discord under useful links. So if you want to check that out as well. It's so good to cover the opening of this contract, so it's pretty cool. Now, what else there? So we've got one T-share here. We've got 10 T-shares there, 10 T-shares. It's got a 10x multiple in it, 150 million in there. That is currently, look at this, you can bid on it. 150 million Hedron is the bid at the moment, 24 hours to go. It does appear to be a pretty hefty bid. Look at this one here, it's got 4 T-shares. It's got a 9x bonus, and that's got 150 million Hedron as well. It's got 300 million. Oh, let's just jump to 300 million. Man, it's changing quick. People are bidding on these, folks. So that's pretty outstanding. Let's say we've got Hex Hodl in the house. Hey, yo, good to see Hex Hodl. Cat Figure into super sticker. Sorry, it's not more. Something better than nothing. Enjoy your streams. Always says Cat Figure. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. I'll do the Superman bow down. That's how I roll on this channel. Thanks, Kate Figure, for that. I appreciate it big time. Mr. D's in the house. Great updates. Thanks. Off to bed now. Good night, all. Hey, Mr. D. Good night to you and everyone else in the UK there. From Gen Hex stream with Matty Allen and Kinetics. Says Hex Hodl. Nice one, Hex Hodl. And great to see you back in the chat there. Has Polly bidded yet? Says Brennan. We had Tipcatcher here. Let's have a look to see whether he's done any updates around that. Yeah, so this was 1 hour ago. So Polly minting will continue for just over 48 hours. That confused me because I was pretty sure it's an hour, 24 hours. Starting in 38 minutes, the initial Hedron state will begin. Well, we've got that already. Let's have a look on the update there. Yeah, I'm not sure where that's tracking. Let me think about that. Yeah, I'm not sure where you can track that exactly. I'm not sure if that's on, whether that would even be on here or with the HSI. I don't know if they're tracking any of that on here. The ICOSA, Wats's, Hedrons, analytics dashboard. I don't think we've got anything on that here. I don't know if ICOSA's got anything on it either. Let us know in the chat if you're aware of anything. I haven't watched all of his videos. He's done a lot of streaming, so I haven't watched all of them. So may have missed something on there, but in any case, we've got all the dApps up at the moment. I know that the bids won't finish for obviously 24 hours, so there's a long way to go. We find out who wins these bids, so we won't know any of that information for 24 hours at least. And so yeah, whether they bid on something, there may be the contract. Actually, I think we may be able to see that actually. So let's go and have a look. We can actually see that. I just realized. Let's go into the contract itself and see whether that's been got anything. I guess that gets locked up. We've got mint poly in there. I'm not sure whether that would show anything on that one. Let me have. I thought that might show something there. We've got poly mints. Not sure where that's going to come out of actually. Let's have a look here. Hedron 160. Approve. Not sure what those approves are. I think this is for the contract itself. Yeah, no, can't see anything obvious in there. ECA 20. I'm not sure if there's. I'm not sure what the executive one is. So I don't know the executive one. Let me know in the chat if you guys know, if you've been following closer than I have on that aspect. Hex HSI says Richard Hart spaces were on fire. They absolutely were. The Hex HSI. Brendan says, fingers crossed they gave us an update on current bids. Fingers crossed they give us an update on current bids. Yeah, that'd be cool. Lol says Cape Figure. Yeah. Nice one, Cape Figure. Appreciate it. Once again. I was hoping that Richard would get, I was pretty sure he's probably listening to the Twitter space with Elon Musk, and who only was in there for a little while. Kim.com was the highlight for me in that. There were a couple of other very knowledgeable people on there, don't get me wrong, that had some comments. There were a lot of silly comments, especially around regulation. I was just like, oh my gosh, these guys still don't get it. The system is rigged. And this Kim.com sitting there telling you, he had to keep bringing them back on board. He said the system is already set and played. These guys are already playing the game. And so thank goodness for Kim.com in there, because these other guys were, they think that the game's not set up. The game is set. We already see this. They are going for complete power, and unfortunately, a lot of people fall for the mainstream propaganda, the tech companies or algorithms. If you type in something in the algorithm, you'll see it will take you to a particular worldview. They are manipulating everything. So it's funny it takes so long for people to wake up. I'm not sure why. It just does, because the propaganda. So people just want to live their lives. That's part of it. People just want to live their lives. I just want to go to the cafe and have a latte. I don't want to be dealing with world domination. People don't want to deal with that stuff, right? So that's why they watch stuff on the thing. They're sitting there watching their phone. And they go, I believe all this stuff, even though the stuff's pure propaganda, right? So it's just the way it goes. That's what you're up against. It's just the way it is. Oh, sorry. I don't think I'll be going next time, says Sandy Beach. On the cruise. If you're on the cruise, I'll reserve a dance spot on the floor. He says, Cape Figure. Nice one. What else? Cape Figure says, boo-hoo. Another time then, says Cape Figure. I wish the cruise was in the fall. I'd be more ready to go, says Sandy Beach. How about that? All right, so cool. I'm sure the cruise is going to be amazing. All right, let's have a little wrap up here. We're up to an hour and 34, but we're having fun. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun. BTC, $16,824. ETH at $12.58. BNB at $2.83. We've got our Dogecoin having a little bit of a move, probably maybe on Elon just saying Dodge to the moon or something like that. I would just be I would be on Elon Musk chat there. I just keep posting stuff around Hex, honestly, and tagging in Elon Musk. Eventually, if he hasn't seen it already, with Richard Hart, I'm sure he'll see that and he might start to engage. Obviously, he's always very busy with rockets trying to go to Mars and car production and the Boring Company and all this sort of stuff. I suspect that with Twitter, he's going to integrate across all those platforms. I think he's going to make Twitter the global social medium across all those platforms. So that's an advantage he has, right? He has all these cars that people have, and they have the big interfaces. You'll be twittering on there. He's going to make Twitter a one-stop shop type of place. Content creators will be able to make revenue on there really easily. So that's going to be bigger and bigger. This is kind of a no-brainer, this integration. And of course, he can horizontally scale across all these other platforms he's got. Imagine being up in space. Oh, we got a Twitter interface, but it'll be quite different by the time we get to that point. But you get my point. We're on Mars now. We got Twitter Mars. We're sitting on our base in Twitter Mars. We might only have 3 months to live, but we're going to be tweeting on Twitter Mars. Pretty crazy stuff there. I'm going to call someone up in their Tesla, town in Nevada there somewhere. How about that? It's going to be funny, man. These are some of probably the more amusing parts of the future that are coming. All right, it's cool. Hey, look, they've almost. He's got the satellite system as well with Starlink. That's all over the place. The infrastructure there. Man, what do they have? 40,000 Starlink satellites up. I think it's where they're heading. I think they've got. I can't remember the exact last number I looked at, but is it 12,000, something like that? So pretty big already. And of course, that's going to open up global communications to all the places, and no matter where you are, you'll have some form of thing. Obviously, it's not super cheap, is it? I don't think it's super cheap at the moment, but they'll probably have some subsidized stuff for places that just obviously can't afford that. They'll have some free donation stuff and stuff like that. Obviously, if you're out in some desert place somewhere, maybe some nomad or something, they're probably a bit cheaper. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's get back onto the Hex price there. 3.3 cents on the Hex. We've got Hedron at 2,900. Woohoo! Actually making a little bit of a move. Yeah, so maybe we'll have a move after the HSIs, but we've got a bit of a move on today, so it's nice to see. What else? Let's have a look at some of the other things. We've got the RSI is quite low too, 42. Plenty of room for rally if it does decide. We've still got the sellers that were in control. The confirmed trend still for the sellers, but hey, look, things are picking up there for the buyers. Maybe we'll get a loop-de-loop on that and get a bit of a run. We'll see. Cool. 24,000 T-shares up for grabs over the next 24 hours from the looks of it. And of course, we've got all those coming in here. How many are in the auction? We've got 6,870 in the queue for borrowed HSI Hex stakes. Remember, when people sell, they make Hex stakes in HSIs and they sell them to the ICOSA contract. In return, they get ICOSA and they can go stake that ICOSA and they'll earn ICOSA and Hedron. And the HSI contract itself takes that Hex HSI stakes and it borrows all the Hedron against it. And then it pays that to ICOSA stakers who get Hedron, and then it defaults on it. And the HSI stake goes to default after 90 days. It doesn't repay. Remember, every 30 days it can repay. It doesn't repay. It defaults, and it ends up in this fine list of borrowed HSI stakes. And we have 6,870 of them. Then people can activate them and pull them into the start of auction. And they go into the auction here. And we have a 97 already. When we first started, we saw 4 popped up in there straight away. We're up to 97 already. We're expecting maybe around about 2,600 is what we're expecting. About 24,000 T-shares. Pretty big number. So cool. Remember, out of all of these, the big whales will be fighting for the very big ones, particularly with the 10x bonuses. That adds that extra value. So they'll be looking for the top 90 Hex HSI stakes around about 200 million. So that is a pretty big deal. So if we've got over 550 million in Hex total in the 71,000 T-shares, then they'll be looking for that 200 million, which is about 40% of the value. So it's pretty big. So maybe 35% of the value. So pretty big there. So lots of stuff happening. It's going to play out. Particularly the first day is the big day, as we can see. That is the big day, the first day. But the rest of the week's going to be pretty important too. I mean, we've got thousands of T-shares up for grabs. That's non-trivial now. Non-trivial event. Let's go over the Hex daily stats. I'm still waiting for day 1,076. Not nowhere to be seen. Where are you? Where are you? 1,076. And of course, hopefully we'll get some nice little bonuses there. I'm pretty sure we had some nice penalties. We looked at those. I think we released 500,000 in penalties, maybe 600,000. So not too bad. All right, let's see any other people in the house. Let's have a look here. Lisbon says, we are here for world domination. They don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we're going to be looking at world domination for crypto. That's what we're doing over here. Katie says, we're having fun. Let's go, says Katie. Absolutely. What else there? How is FTX still holding up value? Mind blowing. I know. We talked about that earlier. I've had FTX up. Let's see if I can bring that up here. FTX, it was crazy at 116, still ranked. Okay, it's down a little bit. $2.30. Sorry, $2.03. It's weakening off a little bit. It was $2.09. Sorry. It's amazing. Once you start talking about billions and millions and thousands, it's hard to go back. Like it's just, the longer you talk, the harder it seems to switch between the different number levels, number bias. All right, cool. That is pretty much that. So let's jump over to, I think that's all I had for that cover. Yeah, if you haven't checked out this, I posted that in the link there before. I might actually post that on the YouTube channel. Yeah, 7 days and 20 hours to go until first Pulse Bitcoin comes out. So we'll jump out of there. We'll jump out of there too. We'll jump out of that. And if you want to mint your poly, you've still got time. So the mint your poly ends UTC day at November the 24th. So I'm gathering this is the until the end of UTC day. So it is 2 days to go, or just under 2 days now, because that is the end of UTC day, not 0 UTC time, because most time it's normally 0. So you still got 2 days to mint this, folks. Very cool. So that was confirmed there, 2 days to go. And now all the links to that are in useful links in our Discord. If you haven't joined, just go to useful links. The Discord's links in the video description. Maybe one of the moderators can post that in the chat. And of course, you just have to go to the poly. There's both Hedron and Maximus here, but you just go to the Maximus. You've got the link there for poly and water minting. And if you want to see the overall numbers, we've got the Maximus poly portfolio dashboard there, which is giving us the latest numbers there. So cool. Let's see how much it's gone into poly. Man, it's climbing all the time. Woohoo! Now the price of Hedron's gone up a bit too, so that's also helped the valuation. But there's quite a bit of money here. Hey, look, the Maximus team, super successful, innovating super big time. Even Alex McFurter gave them a nice heads up for that. Who else is in the house there? Refine says Hex is a public good. Yes, indeed. Hex is the new BTC long term. My honest opinion, wait and see, says Skate Figure. Nice. Hey, one thing I was going to say was that Richard considers Pulsechain horizontal scaling, and basically like opening up another McDonald's. So that's I always find that analogy funny. Right, so we've got 1,243 billion Hedron in the poly. Obviously, this is where all the small people can come together and bid as a whale. Obviously, there's some pretty big players that have come in there with 100 billion Hedron and things, but still, it is a good place to be. 89%, that's gone up from 88 to 89%, so the whales are really influencing on the end here, coming in right at the end here, and of course, there's still 2 days to go, so we'll see where this ends up. I'm sure. That means that it has gone into the top 10. I'm pretty sure it won't do, because only 89% goes into the contract. I've got to remember that. But it's still looking pretty good. Let me jump back on holders here. So it's still number 11. So it has moved a spot. It's moved from number 12 to number 11. It is so close to getting to number 10, and it is only 2 days away. Obviously, it is bidding, I guess, bidding with some of this, but I'm not sure if I see anything on chain. I would expect to see some funds. I guess it locks in the funds, but it doesn't pay out the funds, so maybe we won't see any of that till tomorrow. So unless Dipcatcher has some way of showing that, I'm not sure how to visually see, at this stage at least, what they are bidding on, what the executor is bidding on. So there may be an executor contract, an account, and I'm not sure how that works either. So let me know in the chat if you have heard him talk about that. All right, so cool. Let me just jump over to some of the comments here. There's pros and cons to the McDonald's analogy. There are pros and cons to it. Let me just say that. There are pros and cons. Let me jump over here. I'm just trying to check some stuff out. Just be a second. Let me jump back over here. Let me. That's about it. All right, cool. So that is where we're at the moment. It's going pretty well, I think. We've got 106 now, 107 Hex HSI is up on the auction. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's go through a few of these. Let's go through a few of these. I'm going to jump out everything else. Let's get out of everything else here. We've got Hex at 3.3. I'll keep the Hedron chart open. We will keep up this starter site open too. Let's jump out of everything else though. We've got the Hedron there. We'll keep that open here as well. I'll jump out of that one. We're waiting for day 1076, not off the press yet. So we're doing a bit of extended live stream for the opening. Hedron at 2,900, having a bit of a move. So that's nice to see. Late in the piece, but it's getting a bit of movement there. So let's jump back to the contracts. Let's have a look through some of these HSI and auctions now. We're up to, as I say, 107 and more and more coming in. I expect around maybe around about 2,600 or so over the next 24 hours, about 24,000 T-shares up for grabs. We've got one T-share at the top here, 39.8 million on the bid there. We've got 10.7 T-shares here. That's got a 10x Hedron bonus, so one of the first launch ones got sold the COSA contract, 300 million Hedron on that so far. So that's pretty cool. So that is $870. So $870 for that at the moment. So $870 for that. We've got 5 T-shares here, 22.5 million at 22.5 million Hedron on that one. 10 T-shares, 950 million. Wow, really? Wow, 8x bonus on that one. That's 10.7. So this is much higher, 950 million. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Times 9.5. So that's already at $2,700 for that one. Woohoo! $2,700 for that 10 T-shares. Wow, I should have done a spreadsheet so I could compare all these. But that's cool. That is neat. 600 million for this one. 17 T-shares. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny, man. That is some crazy stuff right there. So what did I say? 600 million. That is $1,740 on this one at the moment. So wow, that's some crazy stuff right there. 107 T-shares. Woo! 750,000 Hex is our biggest one so far. Wow. That's our biggest one so far, folks. 107 T-shares as a 10x multiple buying bonus as well. And of course, 300 million mintable Hedron. Top bid at the moment is 800 million. Wow. Okay, so that's currently 2,300 on this one, on that bid. So some crazy times there happening. So pretty cool. Let's jump over and have a look at the next page. Let's have a look. We're only going to look for the big ones, right? So let's jump through all the B shares and stuff like that. Nothing against B shares. Hey, B shares are people too. B shares are people too. I'm just kidding, but you know what I'm talking about there. B shares are people. All right. So I shouldn't be silly. I've got to be mature. I'm a YouTuber. YouTubers are mature. I'm not. Says Wayne. Wayne's World. Excellent. YouTubers are mature. Not Wayne's World. All right. Now I'm being really silly. All right. So we're up to 14.29 on this. We've got 75. This is really low at the moment. I imagine that's going to change around a bit there. 23.7 T-shares. 500 million Hedron. Whoa. So that's $1,500 on that one at the moment is the bid. It doesn't have any bonus, Hedron bonus. So it's got that, doesn't have that little extra yield on it. What else have we got here? We've got a lot of smaller T-shares, so we'll jump through all those. We're just hunting the big ones at the moment. 6 T-shares, 35 million. What else? That's kind of it on there. Next page. We've got 112 up for auction. Man, it is flying through all the time. We're an hour and 20 minutes into the day. So hour and 20 minutes, we've got 112 so far. So there we go. What else? We got some other ones in here. 142 T-shares. Oh, massive. 1 million Hex. Woohoo! Remember, we had about 90 of these that are over a million. This is one of them. So it's got a 55555. It's got a 10x multiple. And of course, a 405 million Hedron. Now, if we go to Hex model, I'm sure that would be showing up here on this one. So pretty big deal. It's on the next page. We have to go to the next pages. So if we go jump down. Oh, let me jump back here. Oh, not showing on that page. Can't even see it on this one. All right, so cool, couldn't see it there. So anyway, it's got 1 million Hex, 55555, 142 T-shares, 10x multipliers are pretty valuable, and 405 million Hedron to be minted. It is currently worth they bid 3.5. Woohoo! 3.5 billion has been bid on it. My goodness gracious me. So that is pretty epic. So what's that? That's around about $10,000 US. Woohoo! Up and to the right. This is crazy. Party on. Wayne's World. Excellent. I mean, it is excellent. It's pretty crazy. That is the biggest one so far. 142. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm not sure if we can filter these. No, it doesn't seem to have a filter. That's one thing Alex could have put on here was a nice little filter. Would have been nice. But that's cool. It's all good. It's all good, Alex. It's all good. We're good in the hood there. We got 120. Oh, boy, we got 129 T-shares here, 100 million Hex as well, 555. No bonus on Hedron. So it's got base amount, 12 million there. But that has got a billion on that one, a billion with a B, a billion with a B, BBB. So that's pretty crazy. So huge on that one. So a billion there. So cool. We've got some pretty cool numbers there. So yeah, what am I doing there? 100. So that is $2,900 at the moment on that one bid. Pretty crazy. So we've got a couple of really big ones in there so far in our $1 million plus camp that we were talking about. And of course, those are what the big whales will be bidding on. So they're the ones you really want to keep your eye on. And if you're watching the big whales, obviously lots of bids we've made on all these. They've all got bids. But so far, we're watching these very big ones, these top 90, say, that are going to be $1 million or over. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. And we'll look through some of these. Yeah, we've got a couple of 250,000s there. Let's look at this 250. This got a 10x and an 8x. This got 47 million at the moment. It's got almost 200 million. Obviously, this one will probably get bid up a while there. This is 12.3% through. So it's this is a 555-day stake. So it's got a massive Hedron in there. This is a 1966-day stake, so much shorter. So it's got a shorter amount there too, so you've got to adjust for that. So pretty cool. We're on page 90 to 100. We've got 120 so far. Let's have a look through here. What else we got that's pretty exciting? We've got 303,000 Hex here. That's currently at 218 million. So it's kind of cool. What's that? $600, something like that. Let's go to the last page. We got jumping through some of this, a couple of 250, 500,000. Got 400 million on there so far. So what's it, $1,200, something like that? Is that right? 1,200, yeah, $1,200. It's got no multiplier for the Hedron, just base Hedron on it. And finally, last page at the moment. Man, it'll be on there forever later on when there's thousands in here. But it's going to be pretty. First day is going to be like this. It's going to chill out a little bit more as we move forward in time. We've got about 2,900 T-shares tomorrow. So this is the 24 is kind of the big play. What else there? Let's have a look here. That's pretty much at the moment. So 120 up for grabs at the moment. Let's go back to page 1 and see if there's any giant thing in page 1. Yeah, page 1 hasn't got anything big on it at the moment. That was it. So people like that. We're up to an hour 53. We're doing an extended live stream for the Hex HSI auction bonanza. I kind of call it the fortnightly bonanza, but it's actually longer than that. You can see here it's actually running through for probably a month. Probably a month is a better way. It's actually almost 6 weeks actually, because if you think about it, look, all these ones coming in here. It does start to break off once by the time we get into early January. But really, by the time we get to Christmas Eve, we're really through a lot of the bigger ones. There's still big ones in ahead, like on the 31st of January, 1,323 T-shares. So that's not going away. People are bidding on those. So it's going to be fun. What will the whales do? Origin count, poly. How will this all play out? There's different scenarios. Obviously, if they were held by, say, the origin account, they would be deflation for the T-shares if the behavior of the origin accounts is always the same, right? No sell. It's kind of cool. Hex hold would have like that McDonald's analogy, says Brennan. Buzz, BRB, and need a cape. Come on, man. Dude, you're funny, man. Going twice sold to poly, says Brennan. Yeah, that probably, I suspect they will win quite a bit. That's me manifesting the large HSI, says Brennan. Brennan says 800 million. Dang, that's huge. Yep. Wayne's World, party time. Excellent. Yeah, we're pretty crazy. I love that stuff. Kate Figure says, wishing all a happy and safe weekend. Got to jump. Hey, Kate Figure, appreciate it. Thanks for the super sticker. Have a great time. And yeah, definitely on the cruise when it does happen. You said it's way later in the year. Then I'd love to hear about that. Superman would make a great auctioneer, says Brennan. Yeah. Going once, going twice, going 3 times to Brendan, who bid $1 million, $1 billion for that. So cool. These are all the ones up for grabs. Let's jump out of that. We're up to 124. Man, they just keep flowing in, man. You could be going all down this. This is the way it goes. So cool. I'm surprised that we haven't got. I'm surprised there's not some of the hardcore. I don't know if we've got some of the other hardcore people that have been covering Hedron talking about this stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure if they've been doing. I know that RH Max is on, but I'm not sure if he's doing anything else. Yeah, not sure if some of the people like was it Sloth? Is it Sloth? Sloth and Dipcatcher. Dipcatcher will probably be on later. Let's have a look at Dipcatcher, see if he's got anything up here at the moment. He'll probably be talking about the bid. So if you want to find out, just keep track of Dipcatcher. I'm sure he will talk about the bidding of the executor and things like that. So far, I don't think we can actually see that in here. We're up to 1.1 billion, 1.1 trillion in the Hedron for the bidding so far. But like I said, I don't think that will play out until later. Yeah, so cool. I'll let you know if I find any info on that. We still haven't got the Hex Daily Stats out, folks, so we probably won't be covering that because we're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. That is still not out there. 1,076. So we'll probably have to cover that tomorrow. Let's get back to the Hedron there. Up to 128 already in there. Some crazy stuff there, but we have had some big stuff come out. There are some big ones already in play in here. So we have had a couple of $1 million ones and come out already. These are the big ones that people are chasing. So if you want to track something, those are kind of the ones you want to track. This 500,000 Hex has got a 500 million Hedron bid on it so far. So that's kind of cool. So that's like $1,500. What else have we got going? I think that's kind of it. I can't remember. I think I've lost my millions. Where'd they gone? Here's $1 million here. So that's up at 3.5 billion. 3.5 billion. Remember, like good thing that the Poly has 1.2 or at least just over a trillion to bid because there's 3.5 there. Could quite comfortably, if that was the final tally for these, which I don't believe it will be, that would be pretty epic. So what's that? $10,000. So that'd be pretty crazy. So if we had 10,000 times 8, say 90 of these top ones. I mean, obviously some are bigger than this million, but that would be pretty. That'd be 900,000. So they've got plenty of money, man. Obviously, they might necessarily win all of them, but they've definitely got plenty in the kitty to try and win these. So it's going to be pretty cool. What will the final number? Obviously, the higher number goes, then they'll go from 900,000 up for winning top 90 up to they got $4.5 million. So keep going up. So expect them to probably win a lot of them. It's a good chance there. But then there's this wild syndicate apparently running around the place, and you just never know what the OA will do or something like that. So we'll see. Cool. That is pretty much going on. How many are you up to? I'm sorry, I'm mucking around there. 132 is what we've got there at the moment. Let's have a look for that other million. That's on another page. There it is there. Million there. 555. No X bonus though. 2.5 billion Hedron on that so far. So what's that? About $7,000 or so. So cool. That's pretty much it. Some big boys have come through, as it were. Some big boys. I'm a big boy now. Have you ever seen that cartoon of the Ginger Man, Bryn Mange, and they torture him and stuff like that? He goes, I'm a big boy now. Something like that. Any HSI winners with the chicken dinner? We won't know for 24 hours, Katie. 24 hours. You're definitely the most informative Hex YouTuber to date. Brennan says, always bring the alpha. Hey, thanks, Brennan. I appreciate that. On fire, says Stephen. Yeah, so true. Right, so cool. I've talked about all this. We've got Hedron currently at 2,900. We got the Hex model data. We got the Hedron DApp, which is where you can really track it. This is by Alex. This is by Dev Huey. We've got the Maximus. Obviously, they'll be live streaming, no doubt. They're not live streaming at the moment, which is kind of weird, but I'm sure they'll be live streaming later. I can't see them live streaming anyway at this stage. Normally they post it on their Twitter. We've got the Hedron one there. They are almost in the top. They're almost in the top 10. I'm in number 11. This is just with their bidding amount. Doesn't include the staked amount, which has been staked. And of course, that's pretty much it. So cool. Yeah, Hex Day stats way behind time. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed the coverage. 2 hours, folks. If you want all the links are in the Discord. Join with the link in the video description or in the chat. Go to useful links and just scroll right up until you find Maximus and, of course, the Hadron ICOSA. These are the Hex derivative projects, and you'll find all the dApps there. App ICOSA there. You'll find the Hex model information there with the HSI auctions. You'll find the Maximus dashboards and everything here as well. So they're all here, Maximus staking dashboard. And if you want to mint some poly, that is where it is there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Woo-hoo-hoo, rock on. Another great launch in the Hex ecosystem in terms of these Hex HSI auctions. It is a big deal. And thank you to ICOSA. That was what caused all of this to happen. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Francis says, hello, hello. Good to see you, Francis, as always. And King Crank just got here. Bye for now. Says King Crank. Hey, sorry about that. Just the way it goes. All right, I'm going to play out some funky stuff. Check it out. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all product, Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.